Well, hello and welcome to Gmodism Total Nerdery channel. This is your host, Gmodism. And today we will make a little review of the Corsair K70 Mk2 keyboard with the silent switches from MX Cherry. I've been using my keyboard now for 3 months. And I believe that should be enough to give you an anecdotal review of my keyboard. This is an anecdotal review, but let's be honest, 95% of all reviews on YouTube are anecdotal anyway. And I don't happen to have another similar silent keyboard from another manufacturer to do a direct comparison, so I can only give you my experience of the keyboard from a few months of use. So let's get into it. Right, so here we have the keyboard. It's surprisingly clean for being used for a while, and one thing I can say straight away is that the keys are pretty elevated, and it's pretty easy to clean this thing. Actually, just blow it off from the side and it's pretty gone. You can just scrape off to some spots like that. I haven't, cleaned it with anything else than that for that while, so it's a plus, small plus, but in any ways, we'll look at the keyboard now. We can feel this is metal here. We have metal parts here. As you know, it's a pretty sturdy keyboard. It's pretty heavy too. It's like, I think it's like a kilo or something. I don't remember. Funny enough, this metal here is actually slightly warm to the touch, around the same as my skin. We can switch profiles like that. And we have like media buttons and stuff like that. Everything's been working very well. I have no complaints on these little buttons here, and the volume scroll wheel feels very natural, and the media keys feel nice and quality too. Overall, this keyboard feels like a pretty good quality keyboard. Of course, I haven't been bashing it or anything. And yeah, this is how I've been using it. You can, I think you can elevate it a little bit in this angle too if you'd like to. I don't, but in any case, this handrest is very useful. Without this handrest, the keyboard would not be very pleasant to use, I believe. It would be, you will be climbing on your keys like Mount Everest. Alright, then we come to the buttons, and I don't know if my camera can do this, maybe it can, but there is a pretty high friction on the keys actually, and you can hear here, you can hear at these keys I don't use very often. It's a little bit hard to pick that up, but sometimes keys you don't use for a little while, they kind of get not stuck, but a little bit caught in a little friction. It just feels like a little bump because the key's been stuck. Overall, the keys feel very nice. Weirdly enough, it feels that some keys have lower resistance than other keys, even though they will have the same, it's the same switches, it's the MX silent switches. So I think the keys kind of have a little bit of friction, and I think they're a little bit too heavy. I don't know if this will change over time, but from the time of being, I think the keys are a little bit heavy actually. It's pretty good though when you like have your hand resting on the key because you rarely accidentally press any key. But like the resistance of these keys is around like a rubber dome keyboard, if not a little bit more. In any case, keys are pretty silent though. You can write silent on it. They're not super silent. It's not a huge difference, I believe, from these keys and red keys if you press them gently. But when you press them down into this plate here, you can get some kind of ringing sound, but if you press them down gently, it's a very good dampening. However, all keys except a few ones are silent. Like the spacebar key is like the loudest key I ever pressed in my life, even though it's on the silent board. I don't know why it's so loud. Enter key is pretty loud too. Anyhow, I think that there is one little thing here with this bar here. You know, it's a little bit sharp on the edge here actually. I've heard one gamer and he actually plucked this up and reversed it the other way around to not get, you know, friction wounds on his thumb. Other than that, you know, the 2.0 bypass works very nice. We have a very sturdy cable, and I have not seen any compromise in the quality of the keyboard so far. It feels really good, and with a big mouse mat under it, it dampens most of the like ringing sound from the fact that it's an aluminium brushed plate that the keys rests on. So yeah. Alright, and then we have a little part about Corsair, especially RGB products like the like my mouse and keyboard. We have a little part of Corsair that's not very nice, and that is their software, IQ, which you will have to change the light moods and stuff like that in an easy way. Anyways, its first flaw is that it might take forever to start the damn software and it might crash, so I just preloaded it for you. It may look pretty polished and nice, but that's not true. It's pretty shit. It has support. I don't know, really, it should just be replaced, but you can have a little dashboard of some information about temperatures and stuff like that. I might, you know, it might be kind of cool. We can here change the light moods. We have instant lighting too, so we can change the lighting instantly if you'd like that. And we also have settings for your products. Anyways, it might look all nice and that, but if we go to like the keyboard here, we have, you know, we can set up its lightning effects like this. I just put it a static color. We can of course change the moods with the click of the button of a mouse, and we can have like different moods. However, it's a little bit annoying, but here on profiles you can like save profiles, but you can't really save profiles onto the mouse or keyboard easily. I mean, you can save it over, but you can't save it with all features. And if you, I set up these two nice different profiles here, and they're of course for both my keyboard and for my they're for both my keyboard and mouse. Then I can switch between them easily, but I can't export this profile to an onboard slot. No, because they don't have the same features. So I need to craft the onboard onboard slot manually again, and it takes a lot of time because I've set up these buttons here in different ways, and it's really hard to set these things up. You can't just click here, because then you will reassign the command here. You'll need to select a button and then make a command, and then no, the other way around. You need to make a command and then select a button, make a command, select another button. So it's really counterintuitive to use, and the software sometimes also crashes, and on top of that it takes ages for the program to start when the computer starts. Yeah, but the worst part of it is that it's no easy way to load profiles over completely to the hardware units. Not for my K70 or my Scimitar, which is pretty modern stuff. I don't understand why they have so little space for storing the settings. I mean, an SSD card of 64 gigabytes is like super tiny. I'm sure they would be able to fit like 1 gigabyte into both of them. It can't be so expensive. So that they could do better. It should really be doable to just load the entire profile onto your unit so that you don't have to set up the same thing 2 times just in order to not use iQ. Like for example, if I bring my mouse and keyboard to another system, I want to have different layouts that I usually use on my mouse and keyboard, so that I can go to action easily without setting up macros and stuff, because my Scimitar Pro has a lot of buttons, and with these many buttons you kind of want them to do what they're supposed to do. In any case, that is the hugest downside so far I've encountered with the Corsair products, and that's the iQ. So, could be worse. Alright, so I hope this little overview of the Corsair K70 Mk2 keyboard with Sherry silent switches made sense to you, this little review of it, my anecdotal review, and I hope it helps you to decide if this is a keyboard you want, or if you want to go for another model or another brand. Of course, I can't compare them straight off, but this is the experience of this keyboard. I don't regret buying it at all. It's a really good keyboard, and I haven't used a keyboard so far that I rather use, but I maybe only used like 5 other mechanical keyboards at friends and family's places. But yeah, so I would recommend it. But the issues are there, as you've seen in the video, so I hope this makes it easier for you to decide if this is something for you. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. Please like the video if you did like it, subscribe to your new favorite channel, Gmodism Total Knowledge channel, and if you really like this video, you can donate to us using Streamlabs tip or just Patreon, if you want to be a long-term supporter. Anyways, huge thanks to our current Patreons. And yes, I will name them: Marty, McBacon, and Tram. Thanks a lot. Anyways, to all of you else, thanks for watching, and see you around. This is Gmodism Total Knowledge channel, signing out.